So our EC2 instance is now created. So let us now try to connect to the EC2 instance through our local. So I'm using WSL, that is Windows System for Linux. So first what we need to do is we need to locate locate the drive from which our WSL is running. So in my case, it is running from here. So let me open up and just give it here. And what I'm doing is I have downloaded the PEM file during the while I was creating the EC2 instance. So I will just copy it here. I will just copy this file and copy it here. Actually, I have copied it before I gave you, so it is here. Okay, just make sure that this is being copied here. And what we need to do next is open the Ubuntu terminal and give this command. This is just to ensure that our Ubuntu instance, EC2 instance, is able to use this PEM file. Once this is done, copy this command, give it. So this means we are now connected to the EC2 instance. We can check the present working directory as well and see if there is any content inside it. So if you remember in the previous session, when we created the instance, we gave few commands. One among that was to give this install. So we can see that install is present in the EC2 instance. Once this is done, we were trying to install this code deploy agent in our EC2 instance. So let us see if this code deploy agent is working fine or not. This indicates that code deploy is good. So now we have our EC2 instance up and it is running. So a few more things that we need to do here. First is go to security. Security groups. Edit inbound rules. Give add rules. We are just adding 3000 also to the inbound rules. And let us ensure that this 3000 got reflected by going through security. 3000 is added. And next we need to add tags. So we will use these tags later to identify our EC2 instance during code deploy. Just giving env dev. So our EC2 instance, we can use this tag value combination to identify our EC2 instance later wherever it is required. So in this particular video, we will be using it while creating code deployment. So now our EC2 instance is ready. Our extra prerequisites required for code deployment is also ready since we installed code deploy and everything. Now what we need to do is as we have seen, we are creating a Node.js applications. So in order for that application to run, we need to make sure that few prerequisites are installed in our EC2 instance so that our machine is ready to host the application. So let us run these commands. So now our EC2 instance have needed prerequisites installed. We are installing NVM and we are also installing PM2, which we will see later why we need it. So our EC2 instance is ready. Now next what we need to do is we need to create a code deploy. We need to create an application and a deployment group so that we can use it for deployment. So go to code deploy, go to applications, create application. So let us give the same naming conventions that we used here. EC2 on-premise is the compute platform. Create application. Now we need to create a deployment group. Demo DG. So a service role, if you remember, at the beginning we have created a IAM role for code deploy. So it was named as this one. So let us use this. We are going for in place deployment. So here we are not going to use auto scaling groups as of now. We just created an individual Amazon EC2 instance. So we need to use it. So here is where the tags that we have created earlier will come into play. So it will ask for the key and value, and you can see that one unique matched instance. You can just click for details to ensure that it is the same instance that we created. It is the same one, as you can see. A46, A46. Just go back to code deploy and install code deploy agent. I will just give one at a time because as of now we only have one instance, but once we are going to use the same deployment group for our autoscale groups as well. So multiple instances will come into play. So what we are indicating here is like, let us deploy our code change or whatever application change that we are making to these instances one at a time. We are not enabling load balancing. And once this is done, let us create deployment group. So our deployment group is ready. Next step is to create the deployment. So let us click on create deployment. So what will happen is like whatever code changes that we have given, we will push it to the EC2 instance, so that via EC2 instance we can start running this application. So deployment group, we will use the one that we just created in the previous step, and my application is stored in Amazon S3. If you see, we don't have any revision location that is coming up here. It is mainly because we didn't push our application to the S3 bucket. We have created an S3 bucket, but that one as of now is empty. It is not having anything here. So let us uh, push those code changes to S3 and our code commit repository that we just created. That one also is empty. So let us cd into the repository that we just created. This one should be having the files that we just copied uh, as part of creating the npm application. Let us just check if it is the same one. If you remember, we have given the version as v0 and it is v0 here. So yeah, okay, fine, should be good. Let us first push it to our code commit repository. How we will do is like, we will first add these files, all the files, through git add dot. Next, let us commit these files. If you check the via git remote v, we can see that this is already connected to our AWS repository that we created. So let us give git push origin master. So now the code change is being pushed to this flag, to this code commit repository. We can just verify it here, and we can see that the files are already here with version as V0. So right now we have just moved it to the code commit repository. Next step is to move it to S3.